You know what really made hunters so damn cool in the first game? Well, we gotta take into account their awesome AI programming and human-like behavior, definitely. But what makes them a blast to take on is the surprise factor. How an encounter with them takes the player totally off guard, at least initially. When Underground got rebooted in the 1.8 update and hunters were added to the experience, I ran with a group of noobs on random occasions. You always match me with that guy who is an extreme casual who plays for like 3 hours a week or something like that. Or someone now returning to the game after being away for 6 months or some shit like that. You know how it is with these looter shooters. Now whenever I did play with players like that, I'd always stay silent and hush hush about the chance that we might run into hunters. We talk about everything else but that on the mic, you know. We then clear out a certain section of the underground phase and then it gets quiet. Too quiet. Now I would always know what's going on when that happens. But does my teammate? Well, I just sit back and wait for the magic to happen. Let's just say the majority of reactions I overheard on the mic were downright priceless. Some players were just so bad at the game, and they knew this, that if a hunter killed them, it was kind of no shock to them. They basically died to everything else anyway, so when they did die to a hunter, they were non-reactive, you know. But when a hunter got the drop on a player who considered themselves decent, not at the division, but just decent at video gaming in general, that's where you got the real funny moments. Ninja was the word always used to describe hunters. Literally never heard them being called anything else by their unsuspecting victims. And then the raw excitement to experience an encounter with them one more time kicked in. We complete the mission and I tried to do, let's say, like 2 or 3 more runs with them again. Well, I had to do the runs anyway, so I just enjoyed the ride. So I do it again with the specific players so we can have that experience once again. Eventually, and I should say unfortunately, those experiences with other gamers stopped. I for one personally lost interest in it and the community basically figured out how hunters work, you know? But what if they couldn't? What would be required to make fighting hunters a fresh, new, awesome experience every single goddamn time? My idea is to introduce multiple types of hunters to the Division 2. With specializations being added to the game, hunters should be specialized to combat each of those player classes directly. I say 6 different hunter classes should be introduced and required to make this happen. First up would be the melee close quarters one-shot hunter. That's basically the original hunter from the first game. And that's his gimmick. If he gets close enough, he's charging in for that one-shot melee kill. An added ability he'd have this time around would be that he can throw his tomahawk at you, which knocks you down to the ground in some sort of an animation. He then uses this window to run up on you, rip that blade right out of your shoulder socket and slam it into your skull. It's some Mortal Kombat shit right here, boys. Second up would be the sniper hunter. What would make him terrifying is that he has no scope glint. Hunters should still be introduced by them EMPing us, you know, but finding them after that's where the fun should be, and it should be all on us to find them. No assistance from the game required. With this sniper hunter being introduced, we'd have to stay deep in cover until we have total eyes on, until we know for certain what type of hunter we're dealing with, because if we stay exposed, he's going to one-shot us with that sniper rifle. This hunter class will require the highest form of situational awareness. His additional perk would be that he stays concealed from being pulsed and has no health bar over his head. Not quite sure if this is making him too overpowered, but we'll see. The fourth hunter is the hacker hunter. See, that's how I'm going to label him, the hacker hunter. That relies heavily on using offensive skills to take you out. He finds his dark corner in the room to hide, and then proceeds to plant a buttload of offensive skills all around us. With the main threat being the drone he uses, which is like, let's just throw it around a number, 3 times stronger in damage output and health than the ones we've got to use. A drone on steroids basically is what it would be. Or it could be multiple drones, it's a concept, it can be reworked however required. And now the last two concepts I like, but I'm not so sure about bringing to the game simply for balancing reasons, would be a hunter revolving around rushing you down with a shotgun, and a medic hunter that revives fallen hunters. Might be too broken, I'm not sure. And I think this would make whatever game mode hunters are involved in a massive hit, especially with the PvE crowd. When it comes to replay value side of things, my god, look, it's one thing to know hunters coming after you, but it's a whole other thing to know what kind of hunter it is. Anyway, man, if you have your own concepts, if you would like to rework my concepts of how these hunters would be, leave it down in the comments below, man. I really want this to become a reality. I don't want just one type of hunter. I kind of believe Massive is already thinking about this. There are a lot of things already mentioned in Division 2 that I wanted in the game conceptually, and they're a reality. So I'm gonna put it on Reddit sometime later this week. I'm gonna put a link in the description, and we'll see how far this concept goes. Anyway, man, this has been your boy JK. Peace out, and of course, enjoy your day. Yeah, man.